We're taking a fascinating look today at how we talk about travel. You know, the places we've actually been and also those places we sort of dream about visiting.
Yeah,
You shared some really great notes, examples, and it's all about storytelling, isn't it? Using descriptive language, expressing opinions, even like future plans.
exactly.
So our mission really is to unpack all of this. See what we can learn about communicating travel experiences, aspirations more effectively.
It's such a relatable topic, Brady. Almost everyone has a travel story, or at least a place they really, really want to go.
Definitely.
And what's interesting is how these stories, these dreams, they connect us. It
Yeah.
taps into something, fundamental. Curiosity, wanting to see what's out there.
Absolutely. And the material you shared breaks it down quite nicely, actually, into two main chunks, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
First, talking about places we've already visited, getting that description right.
Yeah.
And then we'll switch gears and look at how we talk about future plans, those dream destinations.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So let's start with the past trips. The journey's already done.
Okay.
Your notes lay out some key elements,
Yeah.
really useful ones for structuring these stories. Things like, well, obviously where you went
Right. The location.
and why you went.
Yeah.
Who you were with is often important too.
Uh-huh.
What you actually did there, the activities, your likes, maybe dislikes too.
Sure. Got to be honest.
And maybe the most crucial part, the feelings, how the whole experience made you feel.
Okay. Yeah. Let's unpack that. You had a great example in there. Paris.
Ah, Paris. Yes.
You can almost picture it, can't you? Staying near the Eiffel Tower, visiting the Louvre, that huge museum.
Mm-hmm. And seeing the Mona Lisa,
Yeah.
that specific moment.
Right. And then the other senses kick in. You mentioned tasting croissants, macarons.
Exactly. Those little sensory details.
It's way more than just, I went to Paris. It's like a little snapshot, isn't it? An experience.
Precisely. And that's where the power of detail comes in. Instead of that flat statement, those specifics, the pastry, the famous painting, they let the listener almost reconstruct the experience.
Like they were there with you.
Sort of, yeah. Our brains love stories. And those sensory details, they're like anchors for memory.
That makes sense. And to help us paint those pictures, you also highlighted some useful vocabulary.
Right. Words that help frame the experience.
Like sightseeing, hitting the main spots.
Yep. And landmarks, those iconic buildings or sites.
Uh-huh. And of course, cuisine, let's face it, food's a big part of travel for many people.
Oh, absolutely. And what's neat is how these words are shortcuts, in a way. Say a place is historic or has breathtaking views.
You immediately get an image, a feeling.
Exactly. Or describing the vibe, was it crowded, lively, or maybe more peaceful and scenic?
Yeah, those nuances add texture.
They really do. Adds depth.
So for listeners thinking about their own trips, how could they maybe weave these things in? Like instead of just saying, I went to the beach.
Right. Maybe describe the scenic drive there or the peaceful sound of the waves.
So adding those layers, it sounds like it really makes the story pop.
It definitely enriches it. Okay. Shall we shift to the future?
Yeah, let's do it. Future adventures. The wish list.
So the material you shared has a similar sort of framework for talking about these dreams.
Right.
Again, it starts with where you want to go, but crucially, why? What's the draw?
Or motivation.
Yeah. Then what you'd hope to see or do there, maybe how long you'd imagine staying, and perhaps who you'd like to go with.
And you had another great example for this one, Japan.
Ah, Japan. Yes. A popular dream destination for many.
You can really feel the appeal, can't you? That mix you described, the ancient traditions and like super modern tech.
Exactly. That contrast is fascinating.
Wanting to see Tokyo's energy, but also the calm of Kyoto's temples. Mount Fuji, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Iconic.
And the food again. Trying real sushi, ramen, and those cherry blossoms.
Yeah. What stands out there, I think, is the why. It's not just checking off sites.
No, it's deeper.
It's about immersing yourself, isn't it? Tasting authentic food, seeing something beautiful like the blossoms. That personal connection, the reason why you want to go, makes a dream feel so much more vivid.
It really does. And I think there's something powerful just in saying it out loud, right? Articulating those desires.
Oh, definitely. It makes it feel more solid, more possible.
It's like the first step to actually making it happen.
Absolutely. You visualize it, you talk about it, and you start thinking, okay, how could I actually do this? It gets the wheels turning.
So true. Now, you also included some really practical conversation starters, things we can actually use.
Yeah, moving from the theory to, actual chat.
Like, have you ever traveled to another country? Super simple, but it can open up so much.
Exactly. A great starting point. Or asking, what was your favorite travel experience?
Yeah, that gets personal quickly, in a good way.
Or Which country would you like to visit most and why? That taps straight into those aspirations we were just talking about.
I also liked the preference questions. Beach holiday or city trip?
Right. Relax or explore.
Those tell you a lot about someone's travel style, not just where they go.
Precisely. It's about the how as much as the where.
And that last one, ever had a funny or difficult experience while traveling?
Ah, yes. That's often where the gold is, story-wise.
Totally. The unexpected stuff makes the best anecdotes. Reminds you travel isn't always perfect.
But those bumps in the road often become the most memorable parts, don't they? Builds resilience, maybe?
Or at least a good story. Okay, so we've talked about what to say and how to structure it. Your notes also had some tips for speaking fluently. Key takeaways for listeners.
Right. Some practical pointers. One basic but really important one is verb tense.
Simple, but easy to mess up, I guess.
It can be. Using the past tense correctly for past trips sounds obvious, but it's key for clarity.
And then for future plans.
Using phrases like, I'd like to, or I want to, clearly signals it's an aspiration, a plan for the future.
Got it. Another tip was about describing the atmosphere.
Yeah, don't just list sights. Try to capture the feel of the place. Was it, buzzing, vibrant, or calm and tranquil?
Using words like busy, peaceful, exciting.
Exactly. It helps the listener connect emotionally, puts them in the scene a bit more.
And maybe the biggest takeaway, include your personal feelings, your opinions.
Yes. Crucial. Don't just report. React. Did you love it? Was it unforgettable?
Or maybe it wasn't what you expected.
That's okay too. That honesty makes it authentic, makes the story much more engaging. It's interesting, actually. Psychology tells us our emotional memories are often the strongest.
Oh, right.
So focusing on how a place felt is a really powerful way to remember it yourself and to share it.
That makes a lot of sense. And finally, a really encouraging point you made. Don't stress too much about perfect grammar.
Right. The goal is communication, connection, not linguistic perfection.
Just get your story across. Share the experience, the dream.
Exactly. Let your enthusiasm come through. That's what people connect with. It's like travel itself is a shared language almost.
Yeah, I like that. So wrapping up this deep dive then, we've really unpacked how structuring things, using vivid language, sharing personal feelings, it all makes talking about travel so much richer.
Both for trips taken and trips dreamed of. We've got some practical tips, some good vocabulary, hopefully useful stuff.
Definitely. Which leads us to that final thought for our listeners.
Right. Maybe take a moment to reflect.
Yeah.
Think about a place you visited or one you're dreaming of. How could you use some of this? More description, more feeling. Could that make the memory stronger or the dream feel closer?
And maybe think, what's one single detail from a task trip that really sums it up for you? The essence of it.
Yeah. And how could you share that detail, that feeling, really powerfully with someone else? Something to ponder,